Hello, Angel here, welcome back. How are you doing? All good, I hope. We are on to part 2 of the catch-up. It turned out to be quite a long video yesterday, and I was looking at the time and I was thinking, oh holy moly, I think I'm going to have to do 2 parts. So if you haven't seen the first part, I'm going to link that in the description box now. Otherwise, if you're up to date, let's get on with it. Let's press on, shall we? So I was speaking about the Gustav Glimp tarot and the Haunted House tarot. I'm gonna wait with that a bit and continue on with this practice that I spoke about in my September Decks intentions. My intention was to, or I felt drawn to, do a team building exercise with my facets I've already excavated. More about that in my September Decks intentions. I'll link that video there as well to if you want to go back and watch that. Otherwise, these are the decks I've been using as well as 2 others for that practice. So basically, with this team building exercise, I decided to work with my facets all together and take them off down the rabbit hole into Wonderland and for them to work together. So I did a little bit of artwork based on this, which I've got in another journal, which I don't have beside me. But it's in the September intentions and decks video. But it's basically my festive self standing on a bridge, which is rainbow coloured, with a portal in front of them with an iris. It all sounds very woo-woo, I understand, but what can I say? That's just the way I roll, man. So the other 2 decks I've been working with this practice is start again. I'm not editing that out. This is the Nightweight Tarot. And this is the Divine Muses Oracle. This is a French version. It's a mass market version, not an indie deck. Anywho, I'm going to show you these in a wee second, but I'm going to explain if you haven't seen September Decks Intentions. So basically, I decided that I was going to take my facets down the rabbit hole and we were going to, work together and do some shadow work whilst there. And so I've been reading Alice in Wonderland whilst working through these cards, card by card. So basically what I do is I read the pages that are relevant, look to the next card in this deck, read the guidebook, find some like prompts almost to pull from what I've read and to pull from the guidebook, and then create a spread using these 3 decks. Did I say what this one was? I don't think I did. This one is, these are Dixit cards, and I think this is the Revelation deck and another deck. If I remember what it's called, I'll put it on the screen. So yes, so let's put this book out the way and let's show you these 3. So basically the Nightweight Tarot, I've mentioned this before, this reminds me of a portal, or the cards remind me of portals. I'm explaining this very badly. I can feel it. I can feel it in my waters and in my bones. So that's why I chose this deck. I chose the Divine Muses Tarot Oracle. Oh my goodness me. Just in my defence, it's late at night now, so I clearly my brain's not working. This is an oracle deck. This felt like a portal. This felt like it was going to pair nicely with this one, and this deck feels very whimsical to me. Oh, we got there in the end. We got there in the end, people. Hurrah! Hoorah! I love this deck. I love the guidebook. I do tend to go and translate it, and because I think it's like, it's got these little nuggets of really interesting information. For goodness sake, stop talking. Flip some cards, Angel. So yeah, now there's 2 decks in this deck. I'm going to say there's the Revelations and there's another, is it the Quest, maybe something like that. And what I did was I went through the decks and just chose the cards that I thought were relevant to this Wonderland theme that I'm working with. And I've got to say, reading the book and then going to this deck and pulling the cards has been really, really interesting. It's brought up some really interesting stuff. So yeah, and I've actually really enjoyed the freedom of like creating spreads myself. I don't tend to do that. I tend to have like dialogues with my decks. And so this has been really interesting. I love this. I've worked with this card quite intensely last year about my contracts with self. And this is very interesting. This was like I'm, cutting the cord, cutting the connection to that contract, which I spoke about when I worked this card back in November last year, October last year. Very interesting. Like this, 6 of Wands, being successful, doing it, living the dream, being celebrated. I like this. I like this message. I like this message. I do feel like I've come a long way since November last year when I was working with this deck. 2 more. Love the rainbow. Following my rainbow, even though my rainbow has suddenly turned into quite goth, goth moody. I've got a goth moody vibe going on, but that's fine. That's fine. Last one, and then we are moving along. So yeah, loving these 3. I really do like the Nightweight Tarot. Really like it. I noticed that I bought this out same time last year. So clearly this is, although it's quite colourful, it must give me that autumn vibe, I feel. Or maybe it's just that shadow work comes into play in the autumn. I don't know what it is. But this one works. I love it. L-O-V-E, love it. Should we move on? I think we should. So just to reiterate, this deck I'm working with in order, card for card, and following the story of Alice in Wonderland. And another deck that I'm doing that with, which is very unusual for me, is the... what's this deck called? It's called the... oh no, my mind's got a blank. Here we go, the guidebook is here. Drop my pencil. What's going on? Wisdom of Wild Things Oracle. I felt a need to work with this. I thought it was going to be in conjunction with my Alice in Wonderland Facets of Self work, but it's actually turned out not to be so much about that, and it's turned out to be more about the shadow work. So I'm working with this one card for card. I haven't gotten very far because I'm working really like deeply and sitting with the message. These are the bags, which I think are lovely. They're really cute. They're edged in this like grey colour, which I don't tend to go for grey, but I'm totally feeling now because, I'm fickle and I'm feeling the, like, I'm going to say like darker, darker vibes. I don't know. I don't know. My vocabulary is rubbish. If this is your first time here, which I'm sure it's not, you know that I moved from England to a different country almost 18 years ago, and so I don't speak English on a daily basis, and therefore my English totally sucks. Actually, to be quite frank, I mean, let's just be honest. Let's say it as it is. I mean, I'm not going to hold back. But that's just the way it is. Unfortunately, I don't tend to. The only time I speak English is here with you guys and girls. So, that's why I enjoy doing these videos so much. So you're almost like my guinea pigs. I do feel quite sorry for you. Anywho, loving this deck. This is the card I'm working with now, which is totally relevant. Invite your monster to tea. This kind of comes back to the ghost in my mausoleum. I'm just going to read you an inset from the guidebook here. It says... whatever monster haunts your mind with fear, debilitation or shame, it will never cease its power over you if it remains caged in the shadows. So take it out to tea. Ask it why it threatens or taunts you. What pain does it want you to acknowledge? A famous poet once wrote, "Perhaps all the dragons in our lives are princesses who are only waiting to see us act just once with beauty and courage. Perhaps everything that frightens us is, in its deepest essence, something helpless that wants our love." And with this shadow work that I'm now doing with the I'm thinking of this artwork now, and even the mausoleum work actually to a degree, there are facets of myself that do frighten me because I don't want to tip the balance, and I know there are elements of myself that really do like to go wild, go rogue. And I'm thinking of a heartbeat now. You've got the, well, my life isn't like that. My life is almost like a flat line in the best possible way. I don't want any drama. I don't want any ups and downs. I just want to be on this even keel, which I know life isn't about that, but I'm really like gripping on to this flat line to keep it, at a steady rate, or this like baseline. And so I can feel those facets bubbling to the surface. They want out. I know they want out, and I've been desperately trying to hold on to them and hold them down. And I know that sooner or later they're gonna pop the lock on the cage and they're gonna be running free and wild. And I'm quite nervous about that. So I need to do this. This is one of my intentions for October, to invite my monster to tea. And I kind of feel, as mentioned, that's what this is all about, really. So as you can see, I've got a lot of balls in the air. I'm like, I've got a lot of plates spinning, but I don't feel worried, or not worried, but stressed by it, that I've got to, do all these things. I just go where I'm led. I follow the breadcrumbs as usual, and I'm enjoying it. And it's a real healing journey, most definitely. So there we go. That was my Facets of Self team building practice with my Wonderland excursion. And we've even got my shadow work, taking my monster to tea. What's left? Oh, I know. Yes, we're moving on to the Haunted Tarot and Gustav Glimp, I think. Let's do that. So in my September intentions and decks video, I was speaking about the Cluedo board really resonating with me this month. Now, when I was a child, I don't know, 8, 9 or something, I got a Cluedo game for Christmas, and at Christmas or birthday, or basically any kind of family occasion, my mum wanted to play games with me and my sisters, much to my middle sister's disgust, because she hated playing games. Anyway, that's irrelevant. So I really wanted a Cluedo board. I actually wanted it initially for my inner child altar space, and then in September I was like, I really wanted a Cluedo board. I was like, I need a Cluedo board. I don't know what it's for, but I've mentioned that video that I was feeling drawn to both Alice in Wonderland and The Wizard of Oz, and I suddenly started connecting the Cluedo board with the Yellow Brick Road in The Wizard of Oz. I don't know where my brain was, but I just follow my intuition, and it worked. It all usually works out fine. Anyway, I had a Cluedo board that I'd found thrifted, and unfortunately it fell through. The parcel got lost, but I found a super duper new board in English, which is quite unusual, on Vinted. And this is the actual board. Well, not the actual board, but it looks like the board I used to have when I was a child, that we used to play on. And when the mausoleum imagery came through to me, this suddenly started making sense. Not that I'm saying that a mausoleum has got a ballroom and a kitchen and a conservatory and all that malarkey, but I really want to use decks to follow the Yellow Brick Road, and to work room to room. And I think my mausoleum and the ghosts that are haunting my mausoleum is going to tie in with this somehow. So I've got like a loose plan to use some decks, pop this on the floor, put out a large altar cloth, pop this down, pull out some decks, which I'm going to show you in a second, and see where it leads me. See where my mausoleum work, my ghost in my mausoleum, and the decks lead me in a conversation. Am I making sense? I don't know, but I'm hoping that you kind of catching the drift of what I'm talking about. And to use, to help with that, I'm going to be using Land of the Giants. This is by Steve Hutton. This was a deck I got, I think it was the beginning of September, maybe August, and I've really felt the need to use it, but I didn't know where it was going to fit in. But I just felt that this needs to be my practice, like it was going to find its place, but I didn't really understand how. And this deck is all about a manor that is abandoned, and these like fey creatures move into the manor. And I've been pulling a card a day since I got it. This has been stalking me, this card. And I've been really enjoying it, really enjoying it. So I think I'm going to pull this into this work. Yeah, then we've got the Haunted House Tarot, or Tarot Haunted House, I think it's called, which I mentioned in the end of my last video, that was on my tarot cart. And I think this is also going to work with the Cluedo board and the tarot dialogue that I want to have. I haven't used this one in ages, although I really like it because it does give me, you know, really... It does give me a bit of a spooky vibe. It also gives me a bit of a... It does actually give me a bit of a Cluedo vibe because we've got these characters. It could almost be like a murder mystery. You know, this person is entering this house, and in some of the cards there's like a butler, and there's an eccentric owner of the house, and there's a maid, and it does feel quite... It does feel quite Cluedo-like, I've got to say. Although saying that, the images I'm showing you now don't feel very Cluedo-like. Which is typical, isn't it not? Here we go. So yeah, I don't know how they're going to fit in. Another deck that I actually got today. I've been waiting on this one. This is the Tarot V. I was very naughty and I purchased this one. And I shouldn't have purchased any decks this month because I've already bought a deck in this month. It doesn't matter. This is the Tarot V. And I saw this deck on Lindsay's channel, which is her channel. Her channel is Silver Crow Tarot. I'm going to link their channel in the description box. I love their content, and I think Lindsay's amazing. Lovely person. Anyway, I saw this on their channel, and I was like, oh, wait, what deck is that? Because I feel I need that. And it was when I was creating this artwork with this character. I kind of felt there was like this, you know, character lurking in the shadow, this self-sabotager. Self-sabotager? I think that's the right word I'm trying to dig out from my brain. And so I was at work today, which I don't tend to look at tarot at work, obviously, but I had gotten this early in the morning, found it in my postbox, and I was like, oh, I'm going to look at that when I have my lunch break. And so I sat there on my lunch break looking at these cards, and I was thinking, I hope my colleagues don't come in and wonder what I'm doing. I'm going to have to, you know, hide it away quickly. But I love these images, this kind of, it's got this obviously this gothic vibe, and this totally gives me like again this mausoleum vibe going on. There's quite a lot of cards in here with like rubble around the feet, which makes me feel like it kind of gives me that nudge back to my mausoleum that's collapsing. I'm sorry, you can hear my kitty boy again. Every time I press record, that's when he starts talking to me. He's been sitting here quiet as Larry. I don't know who Larry is, but happy as Larry, maybe the saying is. And then the second I press record, that's when he wants my love and attention, obviously, because I'm talking with somebody else. And for this, for instance, this kind of gives me a nudge to my red bonnet and my inner wolf, and this portal energy. I love it, honestly. I was looking at it again, obviously. Well, I was looking at it when I got home, and I was like, I've totally made the right decision with this deck. So this kind of thing, this kind of feels like it's on, you know, collapse from the mausoleum, I feel, and there's like graveyard going on behind it. This feels like Christopher Lee. I think the name is Christopher Lee. Love it. I really like it. And the knights are all sitting on like gargoyles. I think I showed you that a second ago. Let me find a knight. Come along now, knight. Love this. This was not supposed to be turning into a walkthrough. Hold on, I'm sorry, just bear with me. I'm just going to see if I can find a knight. I know I went through a knight a second ago. Do you know what my kitty boy's doing now? He's jumped up on an altar space just to absolutely get my attention. This is a knight, and they're sitting on this gargoyle again. It makes me think of the mausoleum. I love it. I've got to go and rescue my kitty boy. Oh my goodness me, he's such a cheeky monkey. Yeah, so basically I'm really looking forward to working with this one. And I think my thought behind this with the whole vampire, you know, it's like they're hiding in the shadows. They can't come out to the light because obviously they'll get burnt. And I feel that's what's happening with this shadow character. They're in the shadows. They're trying to keep, you know, out of sight, out of my line of sight. But, you know, I've spotted them, and now we're going to do some work together. So I'm going to be, you know, taking my monster out to tea. So yeah, I think that was all the decks that I'm hoping to use, planning to use, am using, am enjoying using, have on my desk at the moment. Wasn't that enough? That was quite a few decks, I've got to say. I've got 2 new decks that have come into my collection I haven't used. Do you want to see them? Should I give you a quick look? Should we do that? The first new deck that came into my collection in, I think it was September, not overly sure. Anyway, it's Magic Tarot. This is a deck that I had on pre-order from Amazon Germany, and then it became available in my country, and I was like, oh, I'm going to order it from there instead. This is absolutely delicious. It opens like a book, which I really like. It's like magnetized, so it keeps closed. So there's any point showing you the back, really. Please be quiet. There's a good boy, lovey. Good boy, sweet baby. Yeah, I know. Yeah, anyway, sorry, let's put that there. And the cards are quite big. I love these backs. They are freaking beautiful. You get some like spread cards. I haven't looked at anything. I haven't done anything with this deck, just so you know. I just got it in, looked through it once, and then haven't done anything else with it. Yeah, so there's no guidebook, which I think is fine, and I think you'll see why in a second. And this is about the illustrator. I'm following the illustrator on Instagram. If I remember, I will remember. I'm going to link their account in the description box. And these are the cards. Now, I'm not going to go through all of them, but these are blooming beautiful. I love the colours. I'm not feeling the colour at the minute, but I know I'm going to, return to colour because it's totally my aesthetic. Love it. Very easy to see what the images are, I think. Please be quiet, mister. Oh, he's such a cheeky monkey. He's up on that altar space again. And I actually quite like the size of the cards, which allows us, or, allows me to see the artwork. I say we. We're not all old with bad eyesight. Love this. Okay, let me show you a couple of minors to give you an idea. That's not a minor. Look at this. It's blue. Isn't it blooming gorgeous? Oh my goodness me. 4 of Cups. I often get this card from my ancestors. They're like, we're trying to help you. Can you please, look at what we're offering to you and what assistance we're offering. I'm sorry, I need to grab my kitty cat. He's going to knock some things off. Apologies again. Okay, so 6 of Cups. I mean, isn't this just beautiful? It's so vibrant and yeah, it's just, I love it. I really like it. And I've been following the illustrator on Instagram for quite a while now. I think I saw the deck originally on, love this, Princess and the Pea. Oh, totally gives me that vibe. I saw it on Amazon Germany. And there wasn't so many cards to look at. And so I just, haphazardly, excuse me, hope to find them on Instagram. And I did. And their artwork is gorgeous, as you can see. So yeah, a couple more because I've got another more deck to show you. And it wasn't supposed to be a walkthrough. Beautiful. Love this. So, yeah. I'm so looking forward to working with it. And I'm not feeling any rush. Because, as mentioned, the colour's not speaking to me right at the minute. But I know, come January, February, when we've got like heaps of snow here and everything's, grey and white, I'm going to want to see some colour. I know I am. Love the packs. Did I mention the packs? They're gorgeous. And I think I'm going to actually edge this in black because I think it'll make the colours pop. But don't quote me on that. Things can change. So that's that one. Basically, it's Magic Tarot. Yeah, and the other deck that I purchased, which I think was a bit of a, I don't know, I need to buy a new deck. I think I was in that kind of mind frame. The Borderlands Tarot. I had this on pre-order and then I cancelled my pre-order and then I decided to buy it anyway. This is very, excuse me, I've got an air bubble in my throat. What's that all about? This is a beautiful box and it's got this like double box situation going on. Oh, holy moly, what's going on? The tuck box is really beautiful, I think, with the different colours inside. Again, I haven't used this one, so I've only looked through it. These are the backs, which I think are, again, Beautiful. Do like me some colour. It'll be no surprise to you if you've been here before. Love the wolf energy. You know, you can kind of see why I was purchasing the deck. Love the magician. I'm only going to go through a few cards because I know your time is precious. But if you haven't seen this deck, you know, you might be interested. So it's very animal heavy. I haven't read the guidebook. Love this tower card. I really like that. And I really like the art style actually. I love this watercolour and this like kind of, it feels quite I think these kind of decks, although there's not so much white space, the images make me feel like I can land and breathe, and there's not so much going on that I feel like I'm being bombarded. I love this with the, look at the wolves. I love that. Beautiful Ten of Cups. 2 more cards. That doesn't count. That doesn't count either. That counts, and that counts. All right, 2 more. So yeah, if you want to walk through, pop me a note in the comment section and I shall do my best. Otherwise, there might be a walkthrough on Insta. No, we're not Insta. What's it called? Where are we? We're on YouTube. Of course we are. There might be a walkthrough on YouTube. What? I don't know. I don't know. I shall try and find one for you and try and link it in the description box. Anywho, those were those. Should we get on to Thrifted Finds? And should we get on to my super duper Paperback Journal? Let's do that first, then we'll do the Thrifted Finds. So this is what my paperback journal is looking like now. I've got to say I'm loving the handles, which I kept from the original paper bag. So the picture on the front of the forest is a picture I found in a magazine. I painted behind the picture and stuck it down, and then I painted over and even extended out the branches. These are my facets of self looking towards the forest in cloaks. We've got my inner witch and my inner red bonnet and my inner wolf. I decoupaged the spine to make it a bit stronger, and my other facets of self appeared on the back, which I'm going to show you in a wee second. So let's look inside. This is a nod to my inner high priestess. I've made the artwork removable so that I can add journaling on the back. I've even got some Gustav Glimp details here, which is a bit of a nod to the inspiration that their artwork kind of sparks in me. This is for extra added journaling, which I love. And I picked up again the Gustav Glimp like nod to their artwork again on this page. Each page has got a pocket, which I really like. This page still needs to be decorated, but this is my inner witch facet, my shapeshifter. Again, you'll see that there's this nod to Gustav Glimp on both pages, which kind of reflects some more hidden places for some journaling, some hidden pockets for some extra goodies. So then we have my mausoleum and the ghosts that are haunting my mausoleum. I'm going to add all of this artwork in with these little tabs so that I can journal behind the artwork. Is my plan in the case. This is as far as I've got so far. I've still got quite a few pages left to decorate, and I'm not in any rush. It's going to take the time it takes. So my plan is the more artwork that I do, the more I can fill up these little pockets. Loving the handles. So here we have the back cover. We've got a nod to my inner heroine. This picture was from some paper that I had left over. I Mod Podged it with my glitter glue. This is a nod to my facets of self, my inner high priestess with a nod to Gustav Glimp again, and a nod to my inner child, which is the rainbow. So there we have it. That's my journal. So that was my paper bag journal. I'm really happy with the way it's looking, the way it's going. I am also going to build a page or decorate a page around this piece of artwork, but just now it feels really relevant to have it like on my desk so I can see it. And you know, as I'm working with this, I'm going to say facet of self. So yes, let's finally get to the Gustav Glimp tarot, shall we? I've been teasing you throughout the video with the Gustav Glimp tarot. I purchased this one, I think, when I first started my journey. I really enjoy Gustav Glimp's artwork, and I couldn't read with this deck, and I had it about 1.5 to 2 years, and I finally decided to do like a bit of a clear out. Went through the deck, thinking, you know, should I rehome it? Should I keep it? I'm not really sure. And then when I started going through the deck, I realised that there was a switch that had flicked and I could suddenly read the deck. And then about a year ago, possibly, when I was using this deck, I had a real epiphany with this card. It came up in an oracle deck as well. And my epiphany was that this was almost like a portal around this couple. And in the oracle card, there was just one person. And I kind of started following this mantra that my relationship with myself is my portal to healing, or to wholeness. So I, you know, created some artwork around the kiss with just me in this portal. So this is where the portals come from, and I kind of feel that Gustav Glimp's artwork also gives me like a glimpse into a portal, and I really like all this detail. I've seen this in the Hexa Tarot. I noticed that the last one was the Hexa Tarot, which I'd never noticed before, and I was like, it really piqued my interest. I still haven't worked with the Hexa Tarot, but yeah, I can't explain it. It really intrigues me. I feel that, yeah, it just entices me. I can't explain it more than that, really. I can't really say any more. So when I was doing the artwork for my Inner High Priestess, with the portal work and the Gustav Glimp inspired details, I bought this deck out and was using it and put in some cards and things like that. So yes, finally, after speaking so much about it, you finally get to see it. I'm sure you've seen this deck anyway, but it is beautiful, and this gold foiling is absolutely beautiful. For a mass market deck, it's lovely. I really enjoy it. So that was the Gustav Glimp Tarot. That's spoken about. Check on that. Should we do some thrifted finds? I think we should. Now, I haven't really purchased so many Witchy Thrifty finds the last 2 months. I purchased this one from eBay. This was a couple of days ago. This one arrived. It's a new cloth for my desk, with a bit of a witchy, you know, spooky, gothic vibe, I feel. So you'll probably see this appearing in a video very, very soon. Love the pumpkins, love it. Then I also purchased from eBay this beautiful bag. I think it's linen, but I'm not too sure. It's only a couple of pounds, and I just really enjoyed the embroidery. I think these girls, or these ladies, or, you know, people, are really beautiful, and with the flower detail, I think it's lovely. So it's the same on both sides, and it's all nice and clean inside. I don't even think it's been used, to be honest. So I'm thinking I'm going to be using it for an oracle or tarot deck. But watch this space. I shall let you know which deck I choose for this bag. Yeah, my other thrifted find. Well, I've had quite a few thrifted finds over the past 2.5 months or something like that. In the way of dolls. Shall I give you a bit of a quick shelfie? I think I should. So here we go, a quick shelfie. These are my thrifted dolls. The second doll to the left and the fourth from the left, those are dolls I purchased new. Otherwise, the rest of them have been thrifted. I'm so enjoying this, so enjoying the following my rainbow, you know, and kind of embracing my inner child again. Oh, I love it, I really love it. So yep, there's my shelfie. You've seen a deskie, and now you've seen a shelfie. There'll be no selfie, FYI. So let's move on to the last random bits and pieces. Let's speak about the dreams I spoke about in the beginning. I mentioned this photograph right at the beginning of my video. This is me as a very, very small child, and I've been having some really strange dreams since the beginning of October, which I've never experienced in my, you know, 4 years of being a beginner witch, and I feel I've really been noticing that the veil is thinning, and so like I've had some really vivid dreams about loved ones that have passed on, and even pets that have passed on, and for instance this this dream, I don't remember this chair in reality, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, but in my dream, I was at my nana's house, which it's not within the family anymore, and I leapt onto this chair. I don't know why, it's very bizarre. I leapt onto this chair, and I remember feeling this edging, this red edging, and seeing the red edging, and a cushion fell off as I jumped onto the chair. And I remember looking at the cushion on the floor, and it was exactly this pattern. And I don't remember this pattern. Well, obviously I remember it subconsciously, but I don't have a memory of it, should I say. And so when I was flicking through the photographs for my 13 Nights of Samhain, I was like, that's it. That's the chair. That's the one. So I don't really know what the meaning is about. I probably need to pull some tarot for this. I've also had some dreams of some pets that have passed away. When I was much younger, I think I was about 8 years old or something, when one of our family dogs passed away. His name was Jody, and he was black and white, and he had a tail that it looked like a teapot. His tail went upwards, and in my dream I was with him, and I haven't thought about Jody in years and years and years. And I was following Jody, and I was calling out Jody in my dream. And then I had another dog called Seymour, which we kind of had at the same time. And Seymour also has, gone over the Rainbow Bridge. And in my dream, I also called out Seymour. Although it was Jody I was looking at, and I knew it was Jody, I called out Seymour as well. It was really strange. And I woke up and I was like, what was that about? And it feels a bit like... it's connected with the veil thinning, which, as I mentioned, I've never experienced before. And then I've had a couple of other dreams around the same period about slight sovereignty and being almost like, what's the word? Being lured into, not lured, but maybe like offered a partnership with a person. And like, on one side of myself, I thought, yeah, that'll be quite nice. And then when I'm thinking in my dream, almost, I'm thinking, but I don't want to be connected to anybody else. I don't want to be bound to somebody else. I don't want to have to, what's the word? Take somebody else's thoughts and feelings into consideration. I want to make all my decisions myself, and live my life by myself. And so in my dream, I've had this kind of, what should I do? Should I be with this person? And then I've had 2 or 3 dreams like this with old partners from 10 years ago turning up in my dreams, and there's been this temptation almost of should we pick up where we left off? And then one part of me has been like, yeah, and then my other part of me is like, but that's not what I want. I really don't want that anymore. And that's also been really interesting. It's been like these aha moments in my dream. And although I know I've spoken about being single before, I don't know, I'm holding this up to the camera. Although I've spoken about being single before, which is, is by my choice, there is this niggling thought in my mind that, should I be with somebody? Should I have a partner? Am I really happy being by myself? And the dreams that I've been having have kind of been confirming to me that, in my subconscious, I'm going to say, that, it's all about my sovereignty, making the decisions myself, and being in charge of my own life. So that's been a really nice confirmation, actually. I've also been visited by I'm going to say a male energy, which I don't recognise, but the energy is really gentle and nurturing and non-threatening. And I say that because I do have a bit of a problem from what's happened in my past with the masculine, which I've spoken about also on my channel. So this energy, I felt really calm, and they were really comforting, and it almost felt like an arm around my shoulders, like I'm going to say like a fatherly figure, although my father isn't, he's still on this plane, but there's a definite fatherly figure energy about this energy. So that's also really, really interesting. I think I'm a little bit hesitant to delve into it because I'm worried about what I might uncover or earth or dig up almost, I think. But I one part of me wants to dig into it, and the other part is like, oh, little bit nervous. It's bizarre, isn't it? Anyway, Yeah, I think we are pretty much at the end of the video. Thank the Lordy Lord, you're breathing a sigh of relief. We're finally there. We're done and dusted. But, you know, it was like pretty much a 2-month catch-up, really. Um, yeah, so what say you? What have you been up to in September and October? What do you have? Do you have any plans for Samhain or Halloween, for instance? As mentioned, I'm doing the 13 Nights of Samhain, so keep your eyes peeled for that. I was going to go into my ancestral practice in this video, but I think I'm going to wait and do it in those videos. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled. Let me know in the comment section which decks you're using for this season. Are you having any spooky, funny, weird, you know, insightful dreams? Let me know in the comment section. I'd love to know. Do you do dream work? I personally don't. If you do, and you've got any tips for me, I'd love to hear from you. Otherwise, I'm going to thank you so much for watching. I'm going to wish you a lovely morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world. Take care, and I really hope to see you in the next video. Hopefully, which is not as long. Toodaloo.